I find it funny when women say they're not attracted to Michael B. Jordan, and when they are attracted to him is when he plays an evil character. And a lot of people were upset by this, and I don't know how to explain it, but I understand what they're talking about. I think Michael B. Jordan is amazing. You know what I'm saying? As is the man that he is. He's very kind. He's very giving. He's very proud of his craft, and but I get why they love the evil version of him, because that man is rough around the edges. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's toxic, and they love that. That's what they want.
Okay. Do you guys remember a while back when the conversation of Michael B. Jordan being corny was a pretty viral topic? And it wasn't people just throwing this out of thin air. No, it was a woman on a podcast who made fun of him and said, "Hey, we used to make fun of Michael B. Jordan. We went to school together. He was the corny dude." And so they were saying to see him become this guy who's very successful, and they made fun of him because of the way he carried himself. He wasn't street enough to a lot of them. And we know that's what it really is to a lot of these chicks, right? Didn't look like the type of man they want to allow to make them single mothers and then complain about later on. He didn't fit that ideal type of dude who they would want to clap the cheeks and then act like they don't know, like he just slipped up in there. That was the sentiment. And there was a lot of offshoots to conversations that were had about that just during that time. Here we are again, and people are kind of revisiting this whole perspective of, why don't we find him attractive? Why don't I want him to be my baby daddy? And, we can all make our uh, think pieces. I'm curious to know yours. Comment down below. Let's keep listening.
He walks different, he talks different, and it's not necessarily that a lot of women are, attracted to toxic men, but the mannerisms and the way they talk, and the, like, you don't know what he's going to do next, and he's going to be rough with you, is kind of that's what they're going. But I know what they're talking about, not necessarily saying that I want somebody that's evil. I like Michael B. Jordan as is. But I remember when, I forget what this actor name is, and I gotta find him. Oscar. It was in a Marvel series. He plays two different, like, personality characters or whatever. And one character is not confident in themselves or whatever. The second character is, like, I didn't fully watch it because I was so disgusted with the unconfident version of him. I was like all my attraction had left. I've only seen clips of this movie of him in this. That man, I don't, the clips I saw, the way he was walking and doing, that man, that's my man. That man that I saw that was unconfident and kind of talking weird, get that man away from me. I take back the speaking weird. He wasn't speaking weird. His tone of voice wasn't what I was used to. But that other one, that one with the beard, he was speaking deeply to my soul. To my soul. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I understand. Other than that, like and follow for more and child. I find
All right. So there is a version of this conversation that also needs to be had that comes down to the shot of espresso that every man at some age must take. And that is that women do not like nice guys. Don't be a nice guy. Nice guys do finish last. And the women that want to advise you in any other way, or men want to see you lose and miserable. Now, they may not know that, but trust me, you don't want to be what I would call a people pleaser, especially to women. It doesn't work out well in the long run. So there's that element. And I think you do need to push back on a woman. You can't be too nice to any woman. It doesn't mean that you go out of your way to make her life a living hell. I'm not telling you to go pushing women over here. No, that's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about women are attracted to men who they know can stand up to them, because to them, that means that you can stand up to other men who may cross boundaries in your life and in their lives as a whole, in your potential family, right? It's an attractive trait to know that my man isn't afraid to fight back. Now, here's the other part of this where I think this is where most chicks approach this conversation. Too many modern women today are attracted to those pseudo masculine qualities of men. They think if you're not somebody who's a hothead, like the Killmonger type. I bet you they loved Killmonger in Black Panther when Michael B. Jordan played it. And the problem with that, while that was an amazing character, amazing movie, in real life, that's somebody who's just ready to crash out. That was a crash out type character. He wasn't someone who you could sit down and was strategic in his approach. No, he wanted to see things crash and burn. He was angry. Now, good for somebody who you may want some sexual tension with as a woman, and you may want to maybe have a short term relationship with. But overall, unfortunately, these women are choosing those types of dudes to impregnate them and have children with, and then get on camera and complain and say he's such a piece of trash. I don't get it. It's like, well, you let Killmonger bust the cheeks, and what were you thinking? And so they're not attracted to who Michael B. Jordan is in real life, or who he's who he's perceived to be. And maybe this could be because that's the type of brand that he wants to put out there. Probably works well with him, right? There are no brands out here that see him as a high risk person to market products to. And he comes off very friendly. He probably could be different in real life, but that's his brand. And to a lot of women, they look at that, they're like, he's comes across too much of a nice, corny dude. Let's read a few comments here. Top comment, he says, y'all like toxicity. LOL, y'all trying to talk your way out of it, but it is what it is. A lot of chicks today do love toxicity. And this is why I think a lot of men really enjoy or laugh at the future archetype, because it's like that's those women's karma, right? That's the dude. It's like, yep, there you go. You got him now. Somebody else who says he's definitely handsome, but not my type. That's my point of view. See some responses here from other people. This person says, facts. I'm a gay man and I don't see the hype. Says, you're gay. Nobody would ever ask your opinion, and you're not, and he's not a fruitcake. Why are you even talking? He says, laughing emojis, you pressed about a comment that, okay, let's keep going. Here's someone else who says, it's just don't understand when some women say he's goofy and not their type. Then what is your type? Future? Exactly. Exactly. A lot of these chicks would let Future beat it senselessly, viciously, fast, not slow, and possibly maybe even have his kid on top of that. And once they're in a dire survivor mode situation, they are looking for you, not just to take care of them, but to take care of you and Future's offspring. Understand? The question is, will you rise up, young man or older man? Somebody else who says, now why you got to be extreme? It could be like old school Morris Chestnut, Shamar Moore, both fine as F, but Shamar gives corny, Morris gives raw. Next, question its energy. Doesn't have to be a thug, but dominant, I think. Here's someone else who says they'll just want to be, this chick here says they just want to be different. LOL. Somebody else here added, I find that man fine in every font. Okay. Okay, this is starting to feel a little sus. Starting to feel a little sus. Spend too much time in here talking about how fine they find Michael B. Jordan. But yeah, I thought this was a really interesting topic. I don't know if you guys remember the time where this actually came out. And I don't even think that he actually even made an official statement. But everybody was talking about it. Everybody was talking about that situation back then. It was interesting. Moving on.